So this is our brave young man. Welcome, lad. Bozhena here will take care of you. No doubt you're tired and hungry, and a little wine to wash it down. Eat up now. You're in capable hands, so I'll leave you to it. Good night. No, that won't do, Sir Robard. After all he's been through, he deserves a proper bed. Let him sleep in a lodge in the courtyard. It is I, Henry. Forgive the intrusion. I didn't wake you, boy, did I? I thought you could do with a little wine. It's just what you need to help you sleep. I was going to, but to tell you the truth, I couldn't sleep either. I thought of you while saying my prayers. How awful it must have been for you. I came to offer you solace, to let you know you're not alone. You're welcome. Now, Henry, I know this is all very new and strange for you, but I want you to feel at home here. You're not to worry about anything except getting better. That's terrible. How could something like that happen? Oh, you poor boy. I understand your grief, but God is not to blame for the ills of this world. That is the work of Satan and those who do his bidding, those who are corrupted by greed, envy, and pride. You must not lose faith, whatever life brings. Fate has not been merciful to me, and my husband either. Although in comparison to the horrors you went through, never. And after 7 years, my husband returned to me an infirm old man. I was young when I married my husband. It was my father's wish. Divish was a lot older than I, but a woman must bear her lot. Shortly after our marriage, before I even got a look at Talmberg, the castle was stormed and my husband was imprisoned. My husband had some quarrel with Sir Havel Medek of Valdek, who decided to resolve it by force. He stormed the castle, burned down the village of Pribyslavitz, and killed many of our men, even the old chamberlain. He imprisoned my husband in the castle and put his own garrison there. I was barely 18 years old, and all of a sudden I was left alone with Sir Robert. We didn't know what to do. We went to Prague to appeal to the king and sought help from Divish's friends, but all to no avail. We tried for years, but it seemed I was destined to be left alone and my husband to rot in jail in his own castle. 7 years. That's how long it took before Havel was condemned as an enemy of the crown. And even then he refused to surrender the castle and release my husband. In the end, I raised the money to pay a ransom, and only then, by the grace of Lord Jesus, did I finally lay eyes on my husband once more. Certainly, only he has many concerns. He had to rebuild Talmberg. After he was released, the king appointed him Burgrave of Prague Castle, and he was very busy. He had no time for me at all. But at least we were in the city, and there was something going on. And now, we're here. Would that that were true, lad. Would it were true. But what am I doing bothering you with this? You have troubles enough of your own. I'll go and let you sleep. I enjoyed our little talk, Henry. Good night, and God bless. True, lad. God alone knows. I should go. It's late. You must be tired. Good night. The worst thing is not being able to do anything to help them. No one can do anything against such an army. The king is in captivity, and the nobility at each other's throats. What is to become of us? I'm sorry about what befell you. I hope at least Radzig and those who managed to take cover are still all right. God knows you've been through a terrible ordeal. I know what it is to be left alone in the world, although your loss is much greater. But with God's help, the pain will ease in time. And it can help to talk about it, if you feel like it. Divish! I'm sorry! Divish! Forgive me, husband. I'm sorry. No, for letting them into the castle. I didn't know who he was. He said he was your friend. I feel truly blessed to have you here. So long I yearned for young company. I really feel God heard my prayers and sent you to me. My, you do look handsome. As fine as any gentleman. When I was a little girl, there were always lots of other children around and young men and women of the court. No, alas, we were not blessed. Twice I was with child, but they did not live. And now I fear there's no hope for me. It was so merry. I always hoped it would be like that when I was grown up too. But it was not God's plan. I don't mind. Not to worry. We'll take care of them. Every Christian should help his neighbour in his hour of need.
What's the matter, lad? Why, for the love of God, would you want to leave the castle? Dear God. I'd hoped I'd talked you out of it.
That's terrible. May the Lord have mercy on their souls. But how can I help you, Henry? I don't want your death on my conscience.
Sorry, lad. It's a terrible thing, but what you want to do is suicide, and suicide is a grave sin. I won't help you, but I'll pray for their souls. I can see you're determined, and your mother and father deserve a Christian burial. I'd like to help, but I can't imagine how. I can't help you with that. They're in the Lord's hands now. That's terrible, but God in his infinite mercy will provide. I cannot in all conscience let you risk your life. My dear boy, you'd risk your own life to give them a Christian burial? My heart goes out to you. I will do what I can to help, though I'll tremble in fear until your return. But what can I do? I fear something bigger and worse will come, that Sigismund is only another omen of imminent evil. Of great evil. Maybe my mind deceives me, but I have an evil foreboding. Well, it was to be expected. And thanks to God's mercy and my good husband, there was no more bloodshed. But it's something else that distresses me.
But you can. If you wear a proper suit of armour, and if he can't see your face, he won't recognise you and he'll let you go.
In the gate tower. But the soldiers sleep in other places around the castle too, and you might find armour nearby. At the armoury? I can't help you with that, I'm afraid. I mustn't interfere in Divish's affairs, and I have no power over his men. This should be enough. How would you? Don't worry your head about it. You could tell them Sir Robard sent you to Ujits, to ask the parish priest how the folk there are faring.
You can count on it, dear Henry. I won't let you out of my sight. I had no idea you were so talented. Your sweetheart must be the happiest woman alive. Come and see me sometime, Henry. We really need to have a proper talk. What a race! I was waiting anxiously for your return the whole time. I feared something might happen to you. I know, Henry, I know. Pay me a visit sometime. I have no one to talk to. If you only knew how worried I was about you. And of others as well, I'm sure. Promise me that you'll no longer race. It would be such a pity. Normally I'd let the Chamberlain take care of it, but he doesn't have any taste. I can't trust him with this. I'm looking for a few things to give her as a gift, and you're going to find them for me. And I've been told no task is too challenging for you. Is that not true? My cousin, young Sophie, is going to be wed. It will be an entry into a new life, and I want everything to be perfect for her. It's true. I need something from you. Yes? That's wonderful. There weren't any problems with it, I hope. Henry, you are a gem. Wonderful, wonderful. No wedding is complete without good wine. I hope you had no problems acquiring it. Find somewhere here to put it down. I'll send for a servant to bring it later. You've really disappointed me, Henry. Very much so. I need you to pick up an ornamental crown from Sasau for Sophie, wine from a merchant in Ratai, and a roan from the stable in Ujits. You should. And believe me, I know what I'm talking about. Here you go. That should be enough. From Conrad Hagen in Ratai. He's the only person in the whole region who can supply a genuinely good wine. I had the engravers in Sasau make it, but now they've written to say it will take a while longer. That just won't do. The wedding is almost upon us, and I need it. Go and see Master Jeronim Slesky and pick it up. But you, so young and vigorous. Precisely. It's a beautiful animal. Wait till you see it. Dietrich said he'd ride it here himself, but I can already imagine how he'll end up killing himself on that horse. Thank you, Henry. I just wish there were others here I could trust so well. Well, that won't do. Sophie can't have some wild horse at her wedding starting a stampede. You sang to a horse? So I know how to calm down that roan. Go ahead, sing. Oh, how beautiful. I'm not surprised the horse calmed down after hearing such a lovely voice. Well, then you'll have to sing something to me, too. Anyway, I'll think about what to do with the roan. But thank you, Henry. Ah, I understand. Even so, Henry, I'd prefer to decide on such matters myself. Wait, there was supposed to be a large Moldavite placed here. What's this? Look at that Moldavite. Isn't it wonderful? Sophie will look like an angel. So what's next? As if I didn't know you. But you were able to handle it. Thank you so much, Henry.
Oh, dear boy. Bianca. I see.
Oh, I'd never have thought it of you.
How foul.
Oh, You don't say.
I see.
You're full of surprises.
God have mercy.
Aha.
How awful.
True.
Well, I don't know.
I can't even imagine how awful it must have been.
The Lord have mercy on their souls.
You mustn't blame yourself. She's with the Lord now.
Poor thing.
That's so sad.
A bitter irony.
You poor boy. May the Lord have mercy on their souls.
How terrible.
Try not to think of it.
It's very sad.
May God punish them.
No doubt you're right. Probably.
And with all that was happening, you thought of others like a good Christian.
And you did.
It's as well you did. The Lord be praised.
I'm glad.
It wasn't your fault. Like a valiant knight.
Really?
It's too valuable to be left to the mercy of moths. It doesn't fit my husband well, and I've no one else to give it to. He won't. Neither will anyone else. What's more, if you were to leave us again, I'd like you to have something to remember me by, so you don't forget me. This shirt was my father's. He was built very much like you. Broad shoulders, strong chest. It should fit you just right. Nothing. You've done enough. And now I'd like to reward you. Well then, won't you try it on at least? Come now, Henry. No need for such modesty. I appreciate everything you've done for me, as well as your company. And there's something I'd like to give you. Why not? Don't worry, I won't look. I'll turn my back. Come in. Welcome, Henry. I'm glad you're here.
Like a valiant knight.
Henry, my boy! Such a lovely gesture. Thank you kindly. They're really beautiful. God be with you. I'm sorry. Do I know you? I didn't recognize you at all. But you mustn't. You'll be killed. Heavens above, Henry. Why are you dressed like that? I still think you should stay here in the safety of the castle, Henry. But I see your heart is drawing you away from here. God go with you. Not quite, Henry. Just look at you. That's a shame. I'm sure you'd look very fine in it.